Have you ever, even after eating a nutritious diet, gotten out of bed to experience aches all over your body, tight joints, or sore legs? You're not the only one if that sounds similar. Many people over 60 start their mornings with eggs because they believe it to be a wise and wholesome option, and in many respects it is. Protein, vital vitamins, and healthy fats that promote brain and muscle function are all abundant in eggs. However, a lot of individuals are unaware of this. In fact, when eggs are consumed with certain foods, they might become harmful instead of helpful. Certain food combinations, particularly well-liked breakfast choices, might subtly exacerbate joint pain, increase inflammation, and progressively weaken legs. For more helpful advice on how to be active, self-sufficient, and pain-free every day, remember to hit the like button and subscribe before we get started. As time passes, this increases the likelihood of developing movement problems and causes symptoms like pain and swelling. Since these combinations can gradually rob you of comfort, physical strength, and the ability to move freely, we're presenting 6 specific items today that you should avoid combining with eggs. This little adjustment can make a tremendous difference in your daily mood. Eggs are one of the healthiest foods you can eat on their own. Protein, vitamin B12, and choline, nutrients that improve memory, build muscle, and give you long-lasting energy, are abundant in them. Eggs can undoubtedly be a wise choice for senior citizens who want to stay robust and active. There's a catch, though. Our bodies start reacting to food differently after the age of 60. Naturally, the immune system is less effective than it once was, digestion slows down, and inflammation increases. This implies that dietary pairings that were once thought to be completely safe can suddenly cause serious issues. Consuming eggs with the improper foods might result in blood sugar abnormalities, uric acid increases, and generalized inflammation. Leg pain, tight joints, or even trouble walking are common symptoms of these reactions. Therefore, even while eggs are still a healthy choice, what you eat with them is more important than ever. Your body can be gradually worn down or energized by the correct combination. Let's start with one of the most iconic breakfast pairings ever: eggs accompanied by processed meats like ham, sausage, or bacon. Many people over 60 associate the smell of bacon sizzling in the pan with comfort, routine, family breakfasts, and fond memories. However, what if this well-known food combination is subtly causing your leg and joint pain later in the day? Saturated fats, salt, nitrates, and chemical preservatives are all abundant in processed meats. These factors are known to increase inflammation in all parts of the body, particularly in older persons whose detoxification systems are weaker and more susceptible. Now think about the results of combining those meats with eggs. Eggs contain sulfur compounds even though they are high in nutrients. These sulfur compounds can raise your blood's uric acid levels when they combine with the saturated fats and nitrates found in processed meats. One of the main risk factors for gout and other inflammatory diseases that cause pain, stiffness, and swelling, particularly in the knees, feet, and ankles, is high uric acid. It's possible that you won't realize your symptoms are related to what you ate that morning until later in the day or after breakfast. Because blood flow to the lower body normally decreases with age, the legs are particularly vulnerable to inflammation and inadequate nutrient delivery. You might consequently notice that you are walking more slowly, that you are heavier, or that your feet are tingling and numb. It's simple to blame aging for this. In actuality, though, your dietary decisions have a significant impact on how your body feels. Therefore, consider whether a few minutes of taste is worth hours of suffering before reaching for that crispy strip of bacon tomorrow morning. Your joints may already be revealing the solution. Thankfully, there are healthier methods to eat eggs that won't compromise the health or mobility of your legs, and we'll discuss those in a moment. Let's start by examining something that may appear entirely innocent, even consoling: a warm bagel, a soft muffin, or a piece of toast to go with your eggs. These things are deeply ingrained in the traditions of many elderly folks. They are straightforward, well-known, and cheerful around the breakfast table. These processed carbohydrates, however, can subtly begin to harm your health after the age of 60. During processing, foods like bagels, muffins, and white bread have lost their essential nutrients and fiber. This implies that once ingested, they swiftly turn into sugar, resulting in a sharp rise in blood glucose levels. Your body responds by triggering an emergency response. Even when there isn't any real danger, your immune system reacts by releasing inflammatory chemicals to combat what it perceives as a threat. This recurring reaction over time may result in low-level chronic inflammation, particularly in soft tissues and joints. Imagine consuming these refined carbohydrates along with eggs, which are a slower digesting food that is heavy in protein and good fats. This combination makes your digestive tract heavy and slow-moving, which puts more strain on your gut and causes inflammation that spreads. It moves through your bloodstream and tends to collect in places like your knees, ankles, and feet where circulation is poor. That bagel in the morning could be the secret cause of your lunchtime stiffness or evening edema. This type of meal might unnoticeably exacerbate conditions like arthritis, joint pain, or slow digestion. Even more annoying is the fact that it typically doesn't occur all at once. Gradually, the discomfort increases, making it hard to link it to your food. So, the next time you're going to have that sweet muffin or fluffy slice of toast with your eggs, reconsider. While the momentary comfort may be short-lived, the joint discomfort and inflammation it causes may persist for the entire day or more. Breakfast should not be a burden, but a source of energy for the day. Scrambled eggs with melted cheese on top or a cheesy omelet are two of the most comforting and filling breakfast alternatives. Cheese is creamy, decadent, and flavorful, and for many of us, it has long been a breakfast table staple. However, some of the meals we have always loved may no longer be beneficial to us as we become older. Processed cheese is one of them. Processed cheeses can be an unanticipated cause of inflammation and pain, particularly the type that melts wonderfully over eggs. This is particularly valid when combined with eggs. The majority of processed cheeses are loaded with casein, a milk protein, artificial additives, and saturated fat. Given that digestion slows down with age, these substances are especially challenging for aging digestive systems to handle. Heavy, fatty foods may no longer be as easily broken down by your body as they previously were. Because cheese and eggs are both rich and dense, eating them together results in a meal that takes a long time to digest. This slow digestion might cause inflammation that radiates from the colon. Over time, your gut tract may release inflammatory chemicals into your circulation. These substances frequently accumulate in the lower body, particularly in the ankles, calves, and knees. Although it may not seem obvious, there is a correlation between your morning cheese and eggs and later leg pain or stiffness. A seemingly innocuous breakfast delight may be subtly contributing to pain, poor circulation, and problems with movement. The combination of two heavy items such as cheese and eggs in a body that has grown more sensitive over time is the issue, not simply the cheese itself. It can be worthwhile to reconsider your breakfast if you've been experiencing joint pain or swelling when you wake up, or if you've found that walking in the morning is more difficult. Taste doesn't have to be compromised. You just need to think about more intelligent options. We'll talk about those soon. Let's start by discussing another unexpected category of foods that, despite being classified as veggies, may be more harmful than beneficial. Vegetables are healthy, as we've always been told, and this is often true. However, there is a particular class of veggies that can be hazardous for those over 60, particularly those who have arthritis, leg pain, or stiff joints. These are referred to as nightshades and include common foods including eggplant, potatoes, bell peppers, and tomatoes. They are vibrant, flavorful, and frequently used as side dishes or in breakfast recipes like omelets. But solanine, a naturally occurring toxin that can subtly cause problems, is present in these ostensibly healthful plants. Particularly in those who are sensitive to it, solanine can irritate neurons and cause inflammation in tissues. The challenging aspect is that this response is frequently overlooked. If you eat an omelet with tomatoes in the morning, you might not associate it with the burning in your legs or the stiffness in your knees later that day. Repeated exposure to solanine over time might exacerbate joint inflammation, nerve pain, and even leg tiredness. Combining these veggies with eggs, which are already dense and slow to digest, can make the combination hard on your joints and digestive tract. These meals may be difficult for your body to properly digest, which can increase inflammation, especially in areas like the lower legs where circulation is slower. Nightshades may be more involved than you think if you frequently wake up with hurting legs, tingling in your feet, or sore joints. The truth is that not everyone can benefit from every nutritious meal, particularly as we age. It's crucial to consider how certain meals affect your mood because of this. It can be worthwhile to temporarily cut nightshades out of your diet to see if it helps. if you're eating healthily but are still feeling uncomfortable. Let's now examine the sweet tastes that many of us associate with breakfast, which is another surprising cause of inflammation. Starting your day with something sweet, like a little jam on toast, ketchup on your eggs, or a tiny glass of orange juice, has a nostalgic and reassuring quality. These may appear innocuous, even as meager compensation for years of toil. Even tiny amounts of added sugar, however, can subtly affect the health of the joints and nerves in those over 60. Consuming sugary beverages or condiments causes your blood sugar to rise rapidly. Your body responds by releasing insulin to lower the blood sugar level. Glycation is a detrimental impact that develops over time as a result of this recurring cycle of spike and crash. This occurs when sugar molecules bind to your body's proteins, stiffening and inflaming your tissues. Particularly in the lower body, glycation harms blood vessels, neurons, and cartilage. The outcome? Without understanding the precise cause, you can begin to experience joint stiffness, tingling in your feet, or burning in your legs. Many elderly people mistakenly believe that these are just symptoms of age or circulation problems, not understanding that the true issue can be concealed in that little packet of jelly or the nutritious fruit juice they had been drinking for years. More worrisome, the inflammatory effect is exacerbated when sugar is combined with other high-fat breakfast foods like eggs. Digesting eggs takes time. It creates the conditions for systemic inflammation when mixed with sweets. This combination is particularly dangerous for people with diabetes, prediabetes, or nerve sensitivity. In actuality, sugar does more than just make your mornings sweeter. It might be subtly making your joints stiff, making you anxious, and making you less comfortable all day. These sugary additives might not seem like much, but they pile up over time. Look more closely at what's actually in your breakfast if you've been dealing with persistent leg pain, numbness, or muscle weariness. Next up, we'll share another common chemical that has been marketed for years as a healthy substitute but may be seriously harming your joints on a daily basis. Because they felt it was healthier, many people switched from traditional butter to margarine in an attempt to make healthier decisions. Although the goal was admirable, we now know that margarine, especially those prepared with hydrogenated oils, is not at all heart-healthy. In fact, especially when paired with eggs, it may be among the most harmful foods on your morning menu. Trans fats, a form of synthetic fat associated with major health risks, are frequently found in margarine and related artificial spreads. Trans fats are known to stiffen arteries, interfere with normal blood flow, and cause inflammation throughout the body. Adults over 60 may be particularly vulnerable to these consequences. Our circulation naturally deteriorates with age, especially in the lower extremities like the legs and feet. Trans fats can hinder oxygen flow, clog small blood vessels, and increase joint pressure once they enter the bloodstream, making it more difficult for your body to heal itself. It doesn't take years for these consequences to manifest. Soon after breakfast, you may have knee stiffness, calf soreness, or tingling in your toes. The ease with which margarine might be overlooked is even more worrisome. Unaware that it's causing discomfort and inflammation, you might be using it to sauté veggies, spread butter on toast, or cook your eggs. Margarine produces a heavy, inflammatory meal that strains the circulatory and digestive systems when combined with eggs, a food that already takes longer to digest. This combination can progressively exacerbate mobility problems or joint pain that older adults currently experience. The good news is that you have safer and healthier options. Natural fats, such as avocado or olive oil, offer health advantages and flavor without any negative side effects. Simple changes like these can improve blood flow, protect your joints, and increase your range of motion. We'll then bring everything together and demonstrate how to eat eggs responsibly without running any unintended consequences. Why do certain food pairings have a greater impact on elderly folks than younger ones, you ask? The natural changes that occur in the body as we age hold the key to the solution. Circulation and digestion are the two main processes that slow down around the age of 60. Your body no longer transports nutrition, oxygen, and blood as efficiently as it used to. Your digestive system slows down its ability to process and break down food at the same time. This implies that trash from meals, inflammatory byproducts, and poisons are not eliminated as rapidly. Rather, they accumulate and eventually have a tendency to settle in particular places. The lower body, legs, knees, ankles, and feet are common places for these byproducts to build up. These regions experience the symptoms of chronic inflammation first, since their circulation is already compromised. This explains why so many elderly people have stiffness, edema, leg pain, or a heaviness when they walk. The worst thing? The majority of people believe that these symptoms are just a natural aspect of aging. However, the food you eat for breakfast is often the cause of them. Chronic inflammation does not occur suddenly. Day by day, it gradually worsens until one morning you wake up with knee pain when getting out of bed, or you realize you feel unsteady when moving along the corridor. This persistent low-level inflammation over time can weaken your leg muscles, impair your balance, and make daily tasks more difficult. Furthermore, these are more than just irritations for senior citizens. They may result in actual risks, such as a higher chance of falling and losing one's independence. However, there is hope. Food has the potential to be a potent healing agent. Better dietary choices can help you stay active longer, protect your joints, and lessen inflammation and discomfort, just as some meals can exacerbate these conditions. It's not only about feeling better when you understand how your body responds to food. It's about preserving your independence, self-respect, and standard of living as you age. And for that, it's really worth fighting for. Let's now examine what foods go well with eggs. What are the healthier options if all of these popular breakfast combinations are contributing to joint discomfort and inflammation? You don't have to give up eggs, which is fantastic news. When combined with the appropriate components, they can really still be considered a food for older folks. Selecting foods that are easy on your stomach, reduce inflammation, and support stable blood sugar levels is crucial. Start by softly cooking leafy greens in olive oil such as arugula, spinach, or kale. Antioxidants and anti-inflammatory elements abound in these plants. They also help offset the heaviness that eggs can occasionally bring and are gentle on the stomach. Combining them with eggs results in a nutrient-dense breakfast that provides you with energy without causing any discomfort. Avocado is another great choice. Avocados are rich in heart-healthy lipids that promote joint and brain health and are creamy and filling. Avocado provides richness without generating inflammation, in contrast to processed cheese. For a balanced and filling plate, you may spread it over a piece of whole grain toast or eat it alongside poached eggs. Choose complex carbohydrates like sweet potatoes or quinoa instead of white bread if you're seeking something starchy. Because they digest more slowly, these foods don't cause blood sugar spikes. Rich in fiber and vital nutrients, they promote muscle growth and lower inflammation. The method of cooking your eggs is also crucial. Use avocado or olive oil to fry them instead of margarine or other synthetic fats. Better still, experiment with softer techniques like poaching, steaming, or boiling. By preventing the formation of toxic chemicals that might strain your heart and joints, these cooking methods help maintain the nutrients in your eggs. The ultimate objective is to create meals that complement your body rather than contradict it. By making a few minor adjustments, you can turn your breakfast into a therapeutic and energizing experience that will leave you feeling stronger, lighter, and more prepared for the day. There is more to breakfast than just the first meal. It's a silent self-care gesture. Your body receives a message from each mouthful that expresses your desired emotions. You're not simply nourishing yourself when you select items that reduce inflammation, support your joints, and fuel your mind. You're promising something. A pledge to age with strength and confidence, to think more clearly, and to move with less pain. You don't have to stop serving eggs. The true distinction is in what you eat with them, but they can still be a dependable component of your regular diet. Will you make dietary choices that will improve your health? Everything may be impacted by just one choice, including how your knees feel, how stable your steps are, and how energetic you feel throughout the day. In actuality, you still have the ability to alter your emotions regardless of your age. Extreme diets and drastic lifestyle changes are not necessary. Simple daily decisions, such as replacing processed meats with greens, sweet potatoes with refined carbohydrates, or olive oil with margarine, can have a big impact. These don't represent sacrifices. They're financial investments in your self-reliance. What type of day do you want to have? Therefore, when you crack open an egg and begin your breakfast tomorrow, What you put on your plate should be determined by that. Allow your diet to enhance rather than restrict your freedom, because you are still in charge of your health whether you are in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or beyond. Change is still possible for you. Additionally, each new morning presents a chance to start again, with strength, purpose, and the meal that will help you live the life you desire. Don't keep this message to yourself if it spoke to you. Give it to someone who might be experiencing stiff legs, joint problems, or just eating eggs every day without understanding what might be bothering them. A person's quality of life can be significantly enhanced by making a minor change to their breakfast routine. Please leave a comment below stating, "I'm going to change my breakfast," if you found this useful. One plate at a time, let's ignite a positive transformation wave. Someone else could be motivated to take control of their health by your tale. Additionally, keep in mind that every wise decision you make is a step closer to greater freedom, improved mobility, and happiness in your life. Remember to like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you don't